And what's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of In the Pocket, episode 3, brought to you by CrossBones MMA Radio and CrossBonesMMA.com. I am going to be your host today. My name is Nick, and I am followed with my boy Eddie Law, who is actually in Mexico right now.
Yeah, what up, everybody? Unlike Jose Aldo, I don't pull out of fights. I ain't no bitch, and I'm gonna stay in the fight here. I'm recovering from a nose surgery. No, it wasn't because of coke. It was because it was fucking fractured as all shit. So anyway, recovering, but I'm not pulling out of the fight. Not pulling out of the show, and I'm just not gonna be showing my busted ass face on camera today.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've all I hear is from back in Phoenix is a bunch of crazy weather. How's Texas treating you?
It's pretty good, man. It's just hot. It's hot, just like the Arizona weather. So it's been good. But speaking of not pulling out and pulling out, Aldo has pulled out of the fight versus Conor McGregor on July 11th. Not this weekend, next weekend. He did pull out because of rib injury. He was not at the fighter kit press conference, which we'll get into later. But we all thought it was going to happen. I know Eddie thought it was going to happen. I thought it was going to happen, but I did not think it was going to be Chad Mendes being the opponent. But what did you think overall when you got the news?
All right, overall, I thought for sure, I was like, we knew it was going to happen. When the UFC announced that Chad Mendes was going to, they basically just threw it out there, Chad Mendes is going to be a backup just in case. To me, that was for sure. For sure, we're gonna be doing this shit. For sure, we're gonna get Mendes versus McGregor. And anyone that knows anything about rib injuries, I've had a few bruised injuries myself, or bruised ribs myself. Breathing is a bitch when they're bruised. Moving is a bitch when they're bruised. You can barely get out of bed. Imagine having two fractured or broken, whatever they are, ribs, and trying to get out to actually train. It wasn't gonna happen. We all knew it. And Mendes coming in is just it's almost like telling the fans, all right, shut up. We got a wrestler to fight him and see what happens. But I'm not convinced Mendes can do it. I'm just not. Even though a lot of people are kind of giving him a lot of I don't know. They're giving him a lot of the favor, I guess, in this fight just because he is a wrestler. But I until I see the fight, I'm not gonna be convinced. And Chad can stay up with McGregor, who's taller, longer, and to me is more what do they call it, skilled in the feet.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think Mendes is going to be a hard fight for McGregor. It's the fight that should have happened, in my opinion. He should have faced either Chad Mendes or why can't I think?
Frankie
Edgar. Yeah, he should have fought either one of them to get the title shot. And now he's getting a quote unquote title shot because it is for the interim belt, which I think this is the first time it's ever happened that the injury just happened. And he hasn't been out for years, or a year and a half to 2 years. So it is for an interim belt, and it is still the main event of the card. And it threw me off completely. But what do you think? Do you think McGregor stands a chance, or do you think Mendes beats him?
I think McGregor wins, man. I honestly do. I don't think I think Mendes coming in on short notice and having to cut weight on short notice. And on top of that, McGregor having a full training camp is going to make a difference. I still think, obviously, Mendes has one punch knockout power. We've seen it time and time again. But I think the fact that he's much shorter than McGregor is going to be a huge factor. Now, will the wrestling get into play? It damn well should. Mm-hmm. McGregor, Mendes needs to get his fight to the ground and just be a boring wet blanket. But if he gets to the ground, I'm excited to see what McGregor can do off his back, to see if he can sub him or anything, or if he can even get back up, because we've never seen McGregor get taken down by a legit wrestler. So I was hoping it was gonna be Frankie. I was almost convinced it was gonna be Frankie. Mendes got the call. I was disappointed, as was Frankie. But I mean, overall, yeah, we're gonna get the fight we thought should have happened, for a title shot in McGregor versus whatever wrestler really.
Yeah, basically. So it is for an interim belt, like I said before, and I don't know. I think Mendes can do it. We forget that he has punching power. He has crazy punching power, and he clips people before, and he's done it in the past. So I think that if it's standing, Conor can hold his own, but if he gets clipped with one of those hits, he could go to sleep. On the ground, we don't know yet, because like you said, we haven't seen Conor on the ground before. I'm very interested in this fight. This is the fight that should have happened, either him versus, like I said before, him versus Edgar or Mendez. I'm excited for it. I don't like that it's an interim belt, but I understand why they're doing it. It's a marketing standpoint for when Aldo does come back. They have a champion versus champion to unify who's the real champion. But I don't know. I wasn't shocked. I knew that, kind of figured that it was going to happen, but we're getting Conor versus Mendez. Do you think it should be the main event, or do you think that they should move Rory versus Lawler up?
Normally I would say Robbie versus Rory should be main event now, but they did a shit job of promoting it. Completely shit job of promoting it. So no one, barely anyone knows it's even going on. Today's, in fact, I just finished listening to the media call. The UFC 189 media call was on just for the last 45 minutes or so. They asked Rory and Robbie a total of about 3 questions. So the media doesn't give a shit. No one gives a shit. And of course, most of the crowd's going to be there to see Conor McGregor. So, you got to, almost out of respect for the fans, you got to leave it as a main event. And plus, it's the one guy that you were promoting the hell out of for this card. So, no, just leave it as it is. But usually you would put Rory and Robbie as the main event. Had they pulled Conor from the card, of course it's the main event. But no, you leave it as it is at this point.
Yeah, no, and I'm very excited for that fight. Kind of more than the the Conor Mendez fight. Kind of more interested in the Robbie Lawler. I want to see Robbie Lawler try to defend his belt, and I think he can. I think he can beat Rory McDonald, but that's going to be a topic for next week. But moving on to the next topic, we had this weekend, UFC Hollywood, Florida. It was Machida versus Romero. There's some good fight on the card. The two that stand out is going to be the Machida and Romero fight, and then the Santos versus Boss fight. Thiago Santos hit Boss with it wasn't the craziest head kick knockout, but it was strong and it was devastating. How Boss dropped, and it was a complete walk-off KO. It was very, very impressive. I was hoping something like this would happen on the card to get attention to the card, but what did you think overall on that one?
Basically it was on the Santos knockout, it was first of all, it was badass. But when he planted his foot the way he did to throw it, you knew that thing was coming with force. You were just gonna see, literally you were just waiting to see if it was gonna land or not. So overall, man, it was that head kick knockout was about as perfect as you can get. Boss had no clue it was coming. It hit him square on the jaw, put him out. And credit to Santos for not coming in and knocking him down one more time or dropping bombs on him when he was out. He actually came in with a fist and actually pulled back before he would land it. So overall, you know what, dude? Santos is a bad motherfucker, and Boss is not much, in my opinion, not want to say much of a fighter, but he's not a high caliber fighter. So I want to see Santos against a guy who could, avoid those head kicks and see what he can do. But that head kick knockout, dude, easily made. I think he was that was my knockout of the month for the awards show. So definitely, I was very impressed with that kick.
Yeah, and then another knockout on the card was Steve Montgomery, the Creepy Weasel versus Tony Sims. Creepy Weasel got dropped, nasty. Actually, I could not stop laughing. I felt so bad for laughing, but the way he got knocked out, he got clipped, his whole body turned. He didn't know where he was, and then he face plants. And I could not stop laughing. I felt bad for laughing, like I said, but it was another good knockout. Did you get to catch that one, or?
I did, man. And it was a shitty night for the ATT guys. All right.
Yeah.
But for Creepy Weasel, though, I'm not a fan of his at all. I don't like the way he fights. It's sloppy to bring him into the UFC. First of all, just a real quick note on what's it called? What's the name of that show? Fucking Top 21. There we go. Top 21. A little quick note on it. If these are the guys that they picked to win them the show, there's no fucking wonder that the Bugzalians are whooping their ass, or were whooping their ass. You know what I mean? Creepy Weasel was one of the guys who were counting on to help them win the show. If that's what he has, it's there's no reason that Bugzalians shouldn't be, winning the stupid show. By the way, it is a stupid show. There's no reason to have the shit on the air anymore. Change the format, do something new. But as far as Creepy Weasel goes, dude is not ready for the UFC spotlight. And a lot of credit to what's his name? I can't find it now. Oh, Sims.
Yeah.
Tony Sims stepping up from 155. He's not a 170 guy. He's a 155er. And to, knock him out with that super just sweet left hand, man. A lot of power in that shit. put him out. And Montgomery got up, started trying to protest that he wasn't out, whatever. But dude, he was out.
You were
He was
out.
done. And so very impressed with that Sims guy. I want to see him at 155 and see what he can do against those lightweights.
Yeah. And then also on the card, we had Carlos Jr. beating Eddie Gordon. And then we also had Lorenz Larkin coming back and beating Santiago. And that was actually a good fight. Lorenz Larkin was my underdog for the fight, and he ended up putting up an impressive win. Very impressive win. I was very surprised that this is the guy that has the skill, but he just hasn't utilized it yet. He just looked sloppy in the past, and this week he looked very, very good in my opinion. Its striking was crisp. His takedown defense, his takedowns were crisp. What did you think about that?
And we're talking about which fight? Sorry, Larkin.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about a guy that has been known as not being able to pull the trigger ever. And then he finally pulled the fucking trigger this weekend. It was a great, great fight for him. I think he's a guy that has a lot of potential. If he can he's one of those guys that has all the talent but doesn't work hard, or at least doesn't seem to work hard, right? If he can actually put in the work and put in the grind as every other fighter does, there's no reason he can't be a top contender in that weight class. The 170 division is stacked. But for a heavy hitter like that guy, you saw the kicks he was sending. Every kick he landed was nasty. Every punch he landed was with bad intentions. He puts in the work. No reason he can't be a contender at 170.
Exactly, and I'm kind of liking it. I like that he's been learning, apparently just coming out of his shell and becoming the fighter that we know he can be. I really hope he does become a contender in that division, because that division has been stacked for forever now, and I kind of want to see him climb the ranks there. But then we move on to our main event of the evening, Lyoto the Dragon Machida versus Yoel Romero. I called it. I wanted this to happen. I thought this would happen. I thought Romero would just destroy Machida. Machida's he's of that age. He's been slowing down his last fights. His last fight against Luke Rockhold, he got dropped and knocked out dirty. And same thing with this one. He didn't get dropped. He got taken down and taken out by some nasty elbows, and then ended up being knocked out. I don't know. I like Romero. He's climbing the ranks. I think he should be number 2 right now in the division. I know he was ranked number 3 coming in, but what's up with Machida? What do you think is going to happen to Machida next? Do you think he's still good here? You think he can still be a possible contender, or do you think he's just dropping down the ranks and just going to take easier fights from now on to end his career?
I think these last 2 fights we've seen out of Machida are the result of the war he had with Weidman. We haven't seen Machida in too many wars before that one, and that war with Weidman was all out, drag out, dude. And there was Machida wasn't running away like he normally does in fights, or at least not scooting away like he normally does, trying to avoid punches. He was eating him, and Weidman was throwing him hard. And they were punching the hell out of each other, but I think this is the result of that, because then he gets against Rockhold and gets just mauled. And now he goes against Yoel. I don't know about you, man, but the second that we saw Yoel take him to the ground, I was saying out loud, I was like, it's over, just call the fight right here. Because that was it, dude. With Machida, we haven't seen him on his back very much. We don't know what he can do off his back. And apparently it wasn't much, because Romero just, took him to the woodshed and finished him off. So I think with Machida, we're seeing a guy that's very on the decline, that I think has 1 or 2 good fights left in him, that I wouldn't mind seeing him retire sometime soon before he ends up being one of those guys that's holding on too long, or one of those guys that signs a Bellator, I like Koscheck, that dipshit. So I think Machida needs to just have a couple good fights, go out at least on a win, at least 1 more fight, go on a win, and just go out. Of course, you can't tell a fighter to, when he needs to retire. They'll do it on their own, but at the same time, I hope, this is my hope, because I'm a fan of his, that to preserve, what I would call, his greatness and the fact that he's a real martial artist, that I hope he knows when to call it quits before he makes himself look like Koscheck, basically.
Yeah, basically. And like you said, he's one of the rare pure martial artists that's in the UFC right now. He's a karate style. He's been doing that for his whole life. And it sucks to see him. I think it's not just the Weidman war. I think it's his light heavyweight wars. He had wars with so many fighters. Like he fought John Jones for the title. All those wars, it was just a bunch. He was always been at the top. It's just a lot of those wars have been taking a toll on him. And then that Weidman one, I think, was the final straw that he finally his body's shutting down. He's too tired, can't keep up with the new blood coming into the UFC and like beating him. And now I know we kind of have to talk about it. Romero's post-fight interview. I actually didn't watch the replay because I just want to keep it to what I think he said. In my opinion, I think he said, in his own words, he was saying, what are you guys doing, America? Stay with Jesus, not with gays. That's what I heard. If you watch Keyboard Warriors, I actually listened to that. Listened to the show that I wasn't on. That you guys think that he didn't say that, but Eddie, what do you honestly think he said?
All right, when I first heard him, when I first heard the post fight, and it was obviously right after the fight. You know, we were watching the fight, and I was like, I think I told my friend, I was like, watch this dude. Romero can't speak English worth of shit. This should be pretty funny. As soon as he said what he said, everyone's jaw drops because it was like, wait, what? And I immediately tweeted out, yo, Romero just fucked himself, because I could have sworn he said no gay Jesus. You know, say no gay Jesus something or other. And the fact I started hashtagging gay Jesus because I couldn't stop. It was so fucking funny. But well, going back and listening to it over and over and over again, it sounds like he says no forget Jesus or whatever. But the overall sound of the little, you know, of this post-fight interview or speech or whatever had that kind of thing where he was saying, hey, you know, what are you doing in America? On the same day that you pretty much legalized gay marriage everywhere in the entire country, he comes out and says, you know, and says, what are you doing in America? What are you doing? Don't forget Jesus. Even if he didn't say the word gay in the entire speech, it just sounded like that's what he was talking about. You know what I mean? So, and it's funny because I think Dana White was quoted that after, you know, I think he was interviewed by somebody after and said that he doesn't mind a fighter like Jesus, but to hold that shit to, you know, basically keep it private, don't fucking do it in public. You know what I mean? So maybe, you know, if he did say gay Jesus and someone in the back yelled at him, maybe he changed the story to no forget. You never know. I mean, at this point, it's so bad that you just don't know. You kind of just let it go. Yeah. But I'm not convinced he said gay Jesus whatsoever. But that's going to be a fucking hashtag for the end of time if I have anything to say about it.
Yeah, and I don't know. Do you think this kind of thing messes up his career again? He had Stoolgate. He had shitting his pants. There's so much things with Romero and his career so far that's just making him look bad. But he's a monster. He's going to come in. He's going to beat you. He's going to knock you out. He's going to take you down. He's going to submit you. It's just how he is. But honestly, I thought he said that. I did kind of listen to a little bit of it, but I just ignored it. I think my opinion, I think he was just saying, don't forget Jesus, America. Yeah, I think he was initiating to that. But like you said, in the back, I bet you, don't you dare say anything else. Just shut up, sit down, say you won, nothing else. Just shut the hell up, because you're saying don't forget Jesus, America, to basically the day after, like you said, the day after they legalized gay marriage in America. It looked bad on him. It looked bad, kind of looked bad on the sport, but more on him. But I don't know. We'll never know. I don't think we'll ever know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to mess with him at all, really. I think what's going to end up happening, and I think what's going to end up happening is that he's just going to have to shut the fuck up. That's about it. Or go get yourself a freaking tutor. I mean, Lyoto has an English tutor, right? Goes to his house twice a week, teach him English. Romero needs to start doing some shit. In fact, every fighter in the UFC that doesn't speak English needs to do that, just for marketability. But Romero needs to understand, and every fighter needs to understand, that if they're going to be on national television, especially like a Fox Sports 1, and you know, with this whole PC world that we live in now, you can't, for your own sake, you can't really go out and say a bunch of controversial shit. I mean, you can, but you better be ready and willing to accept the consequences of what you say. Mm-hmm. Free speech is free, but it's not. Free speech, you can say whatever you want, but you got to accept the consequences too.
Yep.
So, you know, that's why Twitter freaked out, and everybody freaked out, and the people were writing all these, you know, blog articles and shit about it, which to me was a non-issue overall. Just, you know, whatever, free speech, you can say whatever you want, but you know, the fighters need to understand, if you really, really, you know, want to keep your nose clean and not be controversial, don't say controversial shit. And Romero thought he was being, you know, he look, again, I support anyone's free speech, but just know that you're gonna have to accept the consequences that comes with it.
Exactly. But let's move on to the next topic. The UFC fighter kit. It was announced yesterday. The reactions on the fighter kit. First of all, let me just start off with this. The production sucked of the fighter kit. All right, UFC. I understand you guys are late, always on your Fight Pass stuff. That is perfectly fine. You were 30 minutes late this time. Fine, whatever. If you're 30 minutes late trying to fix your production, it sucked. It still sucked. You had one camera guy in the back with the whole crowd. Okay, cool. And then you play this video package, which production knows maybe I should zoom in on this big video so the people on the screen can see it in depth, and we're gonna show this fighter kit. And they didn't. In the middle of the video, then they're like, oh, okay, now let's enlarge it now. Let's do that now. And then the speakers were completely off point. Dana White's mic didn't. No, not Dana White. The speaker that was with Dana White, his mic didn't work, so they had to switch. And then he's like, "Hey, can we get Dana a mic too? Yeah, give him that one." No, you don't say that. Continue your production. Just roll with the punches. If your mic's not working, Dana gave you yours. Don't call out, "Hey, let's get Dana a mic here." Yeah, let's get Dana a mic. No, shut up. Continue with your production. And then the lady that came out and decided to showcase the fighter kit, which I'll get into in a second, and the shirts and everything. She almost got knocked out by Conor McGregor. Had no idea what she was talking about. Said that Ronda Rousey finished Kat Zingano in 45 seconds instead of 15 seconds or 12 seconds. I messed that up. Make me look bad. It just production was horrible overall. Now let's get into the actual kit. There's two tiers of kits. There's the international kit, which you have each country. You have England, you have Japan, you have Korea, you have Ireland, America, you have each Mexico, you have all of them. Then you have the championship kit. Now I want to touch on the international kit first. First, you have a shirt, has a Reebok logo in the, I think it was the left-hand corner. Then you have the UFC logo straight down the shirt, right? I'll get into that in a minute. On the back, you have the fighter's name. It's like a jersey, but it's not across the back, like across from shoulder to shoulder. It's from the right shoulder all the way down to near the hip. Okay? I like that. That's the only thing I like about the fighter kit. Their name is different. It's not like every other jersey that's across the back. It's down, and it's their full name. You have Conor McGregor straight down. I like that. I don't like the UFC logo on the front. The UFC logo on the front, it's huge. It stands out. We know they're UFC fighters. In my opinion, I think it should be more individuality with the shirts. If you're going to have a big logo here, have Lyoto Machida have a dragon there. Have Conor McGregor have the Fighting Irish there, or the Fighting Irishman there. Have individuality with that, not just the international package. But before I get into the championship kit and what else, what did you think? Did you get to see the shirts, Eddie? What did you think overall?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't even bother watching that shit at all because I thought it was me dumb. But I did see a tweet from this guy Tom Lawler who tweeted out this: "No offense, but if anyone pays $95 for a shirt with my name on the back, you're an idiot." And I completely agree. First, that's the first part. The second part, I'm literally looking at a picture of the shirts right now. I mean, could you? Okay, you're Reebok. You're one of the biggest outfitters on the planet. That's the best design you can come up with. Like, that's the best job you could do. Like, can we get Nike's input on this? Because I bet Nike could have come up with something way better, okay? But, okay, whatever. Let's get past that. Not only did the production, I did hear about the production from somebody else as well. You know, I heard from the production from somebody else as well, as far as, you know, along what you said as well, that it was a pretty shitty production. Not only that, they misspelled fighters' names. Gilbert is Glibert Melendez. It's just a disaster from top to bottom. The two presenters didn't know what the hell they were talking about. You would think if you're gonna present something as big as this, you're gonna study up on your facts. You're gonna, just like you said, the Ronda Rousey quote and the Conor McGregor stuff. I mean, it made no sense, but you know, I don't know, man. It's a disaster from the very literally the second they announced the sponsorship signing and all that for $70 million or whatever it was. Ever since then, it's been just a freaking disaster overall, man. But I don't know. What were you gonna say about the championship kit?
Now, I like the championship kit. That's the only shirt that I actually do like. The color scheme's cool. Like, okay, the color scheme of the international kit, you have your international colors, right? On the right-hand shoulder, you have the octagon logo, and inside you have the flag of the internet, or whatever country they're coming from, right? Cool. The championship kit is all black, which is sick. It has the same thing, has a Reebok logo, UFC down the side. It's all black, but then their name on the back is gold, and then the logo on their arms gold. I like that, but I still don't like that big UFC thing on the side, on the whole front of the shirt. They said that they're gonna make these Reebok things more individuality or more individual to the fighters. They're gonna have their input on it. They're gonna be able to have what they want on the shirt. That's not what they want. I'm pretty sure they don't want a big UFC on the shirt. Okay, cool. They want a jersey so they can pass down to the kids and do everything like that so fans can buy it, put their name on the back. That's not just the only thing you do and add their country. You let them put a logo on it. You let them design it. Like, think about it. If you have Chuck Liddell, right, the Iceman, his shorts had the little icicles on the bottom, everything like that. Tito Ortiz had the flames on it. Let them design a flame shirt with the Reebok logo, with UFC somewhere on it, and their name on the back. Let him be their own. If Anderson Silva wants spiders all over his shirt, let him have spiders. If Nick Diaz wants 209 on it, let him have 209 on it. You want them to be individuality, and have their own personal jerseys. Let them personalize them. Don't do whatever you want and just throw the name on the back. But I don't know. The championship jersey or the championship kits look sick. I just like the color scheme. I just don't like the UFC logo on it. Same with the shorts. The shorts are the same color scheme, has their name on and everything like that. Apparently, they're more flexible. You can wear them at home and at the gym, whatever. Every company is going to say that you can do this, this, and this. But I don't know. Overall, are you going to spend $90 on a jersey? Are you going to buy a Nick Diaz jersey?
No. What I'm gonna do is what every smart fan does. Wait till China starts stealing this shit, making their own almost as good quality shirts, and buy for $30. That's all I'm gonna do.
See, I'm almost pre-ordered one yesterday.
Oh Jesus Christ! Don't fucking do that, Nick. You're better than this. All right. Don't fucking do that.
Okay, look. The reason I was pre-ordered one, they had the Anderson Silva Championship jersey only last night on it. And I like the color scheme. I want one. It's a jersey, right? I like jerseys. If you see my closet, football jerseys, basketball jerseys from the past, soccer jerseys, and baseball jerseys. I have a shit ton of jerseys, right? I have shirtsies too. I'm actually wearing one right now, but I almost bought one. But then I thought about it. I was like, $90. I spent $40 on this shit. I'm going to wait. Like you said, I'm going to wait till China grabs some and I can find it at a lower price. But I do want one. I'm hoping that they learn from this and listen to the fans and actually listen to the fighters, that they want a little bit more individuality with it and want to personalize it their own. I know Ronda was on the design for the women's look with the sports bra that they wear, because she's always adjusting her bras. She said that in the press conference, she said that she doubled it up on her bras once because she almost had an accident with one of her other fights, which I know Eddie Law wants, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't want that. So
I want to see Ronda titties any day. Ronda and Misha titties, all that. Let's go.
But the fighter kits was cool. It was all right, but they did it like a fashion show too, which kind of made me mad. They had each fighter from each country walk up. So they had Cain Velasquez, they had Paige, they had Misha Tate, they had Robbie Lawler, Johanna was there. I think Henry Cejudo was there. Like a bunch of different fighters just went up on stage. They modeled. You don't have the fighters model. Not all of them are hot like Paige, like Misha, like Ronda. Cain Velasquez looked like a monster up there right next to everybody. So if you're having people model this new product, have people model. I know you want to have people model the product without the name on it and then show up on the video screen. This is the Chael Sonnen jersey. I don't know why I said Chael Sonnen. This is the Cain Velasquez jersey. This is the Anderson Silva jersey. This is the Paige jersey. This is what they look like. Here's the championship kit. The only thing that I liked when they had the fighters walked out was the championship kit. They're in this dark hallway, all black with lights, and that's how they produced the championship or showed off the championship kit. That was it. Forget it. I don't care. They shouldn't have had a press conference on it. They should have just showcased them on July 11th and had Conor come out and then had something. But I don't know. I don't know if it's part of the contract or what, or I don't know. But overall, it sucked. And I think Nick Diaz should have a Stockton 209 jersey with his name on it.
Yeah, Andrew Reid just tweeted over. If Nick Diaz could customize his kit, it would have the herb on it. That would be fucking perfect. I would spend $95 if that was a fucking shirt. I would drop 95 on that. But a
It would
big
have
weed, if a big fucking weed leaf on the front, and Diaz Stockton 209 and don't be scared, homie on it somewhere. I'm buying that shit. Until that happens, nah, China's the way to go.
See, that's what they should have had. Like you said it, like the 209, don't be scared, homie. You have Daniel Cormier with embrace the grind or break bones or whatever. Let them customize it. Don't just give them a jersey. Just no. In soccer, you don't see FIFA across the side of the shirt. You see their logo. I don't know. The fighter kits were stupid. I'm still gonna probably buy one though when it comes out in China. So
Yeah.
other than that, do you have any other topics to talk about, Eddie?
Let me see. I'm looking up. I don't see any events this weekend. I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
there's definitely no UFC not till next weekend because they want that push. But overall, man, this week has been kind of slow in the MMA news side of everything.
Yeah. I know what they announced. No, we already talked about that Page's fight in 191. Yeah, nothing else has changed, and MMA's been kind of slow except for the fighter kit and the Aldo pullout. So
All the pullout was pretty much all the news there was. I mean, there really wasn't anything else to talk about because that's just a huge, huge deal. I mean, I could talk. We could talk. How about this? The what's it called? There was a rumor that Nate Diaz was called to possibly fight McGregor,
oh,
and McGregor said no. McGregor's coach says, yeah, McGregor's coach is the quote right here. McGregor's coach wasn't interested in Diaz as a foe. It wasn't McGregor either. And I think McGregor would have destroyed Nate Diaz, but it would have been a more fun fight, I think, than Mendez. I don't know. I think it's just because I'm a Diaz fan. But other than that, dude, the media call was weak. Mendez and McGregor went back and forth insulting each other. What else was there? They barely asked Robbie and Rory any questions. It's just what it is. I don't know. Whatever, man. It was just a weird fucking call. They really just kind of just wasted everyone's time with it.
and then Andrew retweeting again. DC's shirt would have "I eat pies" on his.
I eat all the pies.
I eat all the pies.
Hilarious.
Yeah. But no, honestly, they should do that. But no, that Diaz versus McGregor, I would like to see that I would like to see that because what if Diaz can pull it off? I bet you Connor wasn't ready for that one, but I'm pretty sure he was ready for Mendez or Frankie. He's ready for the wrestler, and it's the right fight to do. Put him against the fighter. I'm excited for it. I'm kind of more excited for it than the Aldo fight because I want to see this more. And then if he beats Mendez, then I want to see the Aldo fight because I think then if he beats Mendez, he has a good shot at beating Aldo. But I think Mendez is going to beat Aldo. I'm going to say it. I think Mendez is going to take him down. He's going to destroy Aldo. Mendez is going to beat McGregor. He's going to destroy him.
Yeah, I'm picking McGregor just for the fact that, I don't know. It's a feeling, I guess. But, overall, before we go, I think the one guy gets fucked out of all this is going to be Frankie Edgar. Because let's say what I think is going to happens. If McGregor beats Mendez, and then they do a unification bout, then Frankie Edgar gets fucked out of a title shot because Aldo's going to win against McGregor. He's going to unify that belt if that happens. And then, there's no reason to see Frankie Edgar in there yet. And so I think he gets fucked out of a title shot. But, again, we won't find out for months until we see if Aldo's going to come back or not.
Yeah, and yeah, it sucks. And then a little tiny baby note, John Jones is facing felony charges. So.
Oh, shit, for real? That's not a baby. Yeah. That's a big deal.
I think I read that yesterday. John Jones will be facing felony charges. So I said it, we're not going to see him back in the UFC anytime soon. I don't even think we're going to see him in the UFC ever. But they are selling his fighter kit. Why are you selling his fighter kit? Don't sell his fighter kit. All the cocaine people are going to be buying his fighter kit.
I don't know. We don't even know if he's going to come back to fighting ever. So
exactly.
I'll tell you what, it'll be if they sell his fighter kit for real, it's going to be ordered in prisons everywhere for fun. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. And he's going to be wearing it. Look what I got. I got his shirt. But other than that, I think that's going to do it today for the show of In the Pocket, another edition. I can't think right now. I'm exhausted. I've been working like crazy. Yeah. But another edition of In the Pocket presented by CrossBonesMMA. Everyone, hashtag Eddie Law knows, not KNOS, NOSE. Give him some luck on his recovery of his nose. And you can tweet him at 31 or 21?
31.
31. And you can tweet me at NickXMicro. Eddie, do you have anything else to say?
No, thanks for all the well wishes and everything. Thanks for all the support. Hopefully, I'll be back in the States and at home in a few days. Hopefully, as long as recovery goes well. And then all I know is I have to be back by UFC 189, and I'm not missing that shit at all. But other than that, I'm still on the Twitter, I'm still on the internet, everything. Just not on camera for the fact that I look like fucking Frankenstein right now. But other than that, man, thanks for manning the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Yep. And if you do want to go and see what Eddie actually looks like, go check out his ULI special edition of him in his hotel room, just explaining exactly what was going on with his nose. It's actually a pretty cool show. But go check that out. But other than that, we'll see you guys next week and later.
Peace.